Welcome to This Week in East Brunswick. Today we ring in the new year with the East Brunswick Public Library Youth Services Happy New Year event. And we stay at the library for the 6th annual Hour of Code, promoting computer science and technology with teens and tweens. Then we welcome Al Nigrin, the Executive Director and Curator of the New Jersey Film Festival, to the studio to provide an overview of the dozens of films that will be shown at the festival. All this, plus we join Barbara Reiss at Disability Allies Inclusion Center for a tour of the facility. So stay with us. This Week in East Brunswick starts now.
Hi, I'm Jessica Schneider, the teen librarian here at the East Brunswick Public Library. Tonight is our 6th annual Hour of Code event. It's a big after-hours program that we run with the Code Club from the East Brunswick High School. So this year we have a 3D printer station out, which is really great because it helps us to showcase our brand new 3D printer that we have at the library now. We've also pulled out the Oculus Rift for a virtual reality station. We also have a big programming competition in the computer lab, which is the first time we're ever doing this. So it's a coding competition in JavaScript, and the participants have the opportunity to win a programmable drone. I think it's really great that we have the opportunity to put on a big event like this. It showcases the kinds of things that the library has, the resources that the library has available to the community. It's great for people who have all levels of technology abilities, okay? So maybe you know nothing about coding, you can come here and start learning something and get really interested and decide you really like computer science. Or if you have been working with computer science for a long time, maybe you're learning something new, or maybe you're participating in our new competitions just to get a little bit better at what you're doing, and to also learn more about the computer science field. So we had a guest speaker here today from Google, who used to be a East Brunswick high school graduate. And so she's able to talk to the teens here about potential careers and what it's like to work in the computer science field. So I think it's a really great opportunity for everyone to learn from all different levels. There's definitely a lot more girls here, women teens, which we love to see. It's really important to encourage women in the computer science field. There's not many of them, and we work really hard here at the library to encourage any interest for women in computer science. We already have a Girls Who Code club for 3rd through 5th graders, and I know that shortly in the coming year we're going to start another Girls Who Code club for 6th through 12th graders. It's really to get women more comfortable in the computer science field and to encourage them to go into that field in the future for their careers. My favorite part about this is always just watching it come together. The Code Club does a lot of work planning the different events that they're going to have. It's always a little hectic, a little nerve-wracking in the beginning, but it's really great to see it all come together and see all the hard work that they put into it pay off. Every year in December, the library does Tech Week, so we have different events throughout the week for teens, kids, and adults, and Hour of Code is usually our big event, our culminating event at the end. So if you're interested in more things like this, check the library calendar. We usually have lots of different tech programs for teens or other ages. And if you're interested in helping to run this event in the future, I definitely recommend, if you're in the high school, to get involved with the Code Club at the East Brunswick High School.
Hello everyone, it's Al Nigrin, Executive Director and Curator of the New Jersey Film Festival, here to give you an overview of the upcoming New Jersey Film Festival Spring 2020 season. The New Jersey Film Festival is in its 38th year. It's a biannual festival, and we're aligned with the Rutgers University calendar. We're going to be showing over 40 movies, and the festival begins on Saturday, January 25th, and runs on select Friday, Saturday, and Sunday evenings through February 28th. There's 2 free screenings courtesy of the Confucius Institute at Rutgers University, 2 Chinese language films. That'll be on February 21st and February 28th. And if you want to check out the lineup and get descriptions for all the films, you can do that by going to our website, which is njfilmfest.com. We also have a hotline phone number. That's 848-932-8482. And we usually have a message on there telling you what's playing each weekend. Here's what we're going to be showing. On Saturday, January 25th, a double bill of films about work. The first is called Textile Workers by Andrea Nappi and Juno Room. They're from Queens, New York. It's a very beautiful experimental film, and both filmmakers will be there to do a Q&A session after the movie. The feature film that evening is by Mark Street. It's called Work Songs. He lives in Brooklyn, New York, and Mark will be our first visiting filmmaker here to do an interview on EBTV, and that'll be coming up in the next week or so. Then on Sunday, January 26th, we'll be screening the short film by James Reiss and Jay Thomas that's entitled For Hope. It's shot in Kentucky and is about an autistic young girl who's dealing with lots of personal issues and problems within the family. We'll have James and Jay here to do a filmmaker interview too in a couple of weeks. And the feature film that evening is called Bleed American by Trey Manchester. And it focuses on a young brother who's got to take care of the family after the mother is hospitalized. That film is also taking place in Middle America. And this program is being co-sponsored by the Rutgers University American Studies Department, as well as the Rutgers University Office of Disability Services. Then on Friday, January 31st, our first program of shorts called Super Shorts 1. We have films by Benjamin Ridgway, Ki Ziwi, Vasilos Papanayu, Vasco Diogo, George Nicholas, Daria Kasheva, Quinn Turan, and Nadia Boya. You can check out all the descriptions for these short films at our website. The Green Dreams by Quinn Turan and Nadia Boya is the longest of the bunch, and they'll be there to do a Q&A, as well as director Vasilos Papanayu. His film, 2, is a really beautiful experimental film. There's also a series of experimental films shown that evening. Check them out on our website at njfilmfest.com. Then on Saturday, February 1, we have a film that has an expletive as the title. It starts with an F, so you'll know what it is. This one is directed by Vern Haas. It's an absolutely hysterical short film about a female college student's sexual trials and tribulations and revelations during her first year in college. It's the perfect film for a Rutgers University student. Then we have an amazing, amazing film called A Seahorse Trainer by Riccardo Bonisoli and Babak Bina. They're from Vancouver, Canada. And this is a really amazing surrealist film. The feature film is directed by Robert Ripberger. It's called Strive. It stars Danny Glover, and it focuses on Kalani, who's a teenager living in Harlem with her older brother, and how she has to get through going through this school where she's looked down upon by her classmates. A really amazing film. This program is co-sponsored by the Rutgers University Cinema Studies program. Then on Friday, February 7th, 3 films that are interconnected. Diwali by Etienne Labouze. Etienne will be here to do the 3rd and final filmmaker interview that we'll be offering. It's a kind of film poem that he shot in India. L'eau et la vie, Water is Life, From Standing Rock to the Swamp is an environmental documentary by Sam Vinal. He's from Los Angeles. The 12,000 by Eric Davis and Randy Watson. They're from British Columbia, Canada. Focuses on the true story of a young woman who survived the brutal sex trafficking trade that exists on the border between Nepal and India. This program is going to feature 2 visiting artists doing a Q&A afterward, and is being sponsored by the Rutgers University Department of African, Middle Eastern, and Southern Asian Languages and Literatures Department. We call it AMISOL, and thank you to them for their co-sponsorship. Then on Saturday, February 8th, our Super Shorts 2 program, another series of shorts. We've got a lot of really great shorts. We selected 27 films out of 611 entries from around the world. These short films feature Lab Dog by Nomi Durivu, about a young boy or young man who saves a beagle from a lab. And a really amazing and wonderful, very, very moving film. A Missing Piece by Grace Chang is another great film by Grace Chang, who's a very famous actress. And this one is being co-sponsored by the Rutgers University Cinema Studies Program and the Confucius Institute. We also have The Quiet Pain by Timothy Amatuli. He's from Glen Rock, New Jersey. And 1,000 Cranes by Leonard Chan. Another Round by Brandon Regina from New York, New York. Check out the descriptions at our website at njfilmfest.com. Rounding the bend on our program, our festival, Saturday, February 15th, a really great short film called Bayora, the Flamingo Dancer. It's the translation by Ruben Stein from Madrid, Spain. And then Pacrete by Alan de Berton. He's from Brazil, and his film focuses on an aging ballet dancer. It's a really, really wonderful film, very colorful, and stars Marciela Carataxo, who won Best Actress prize at the Berlin Film Festival. This one is being co-sponsored by the Rutgers University Spanish and Portuguese Department. Both films are in their original languages in Spanish and Portuguese. Sunday, February 16th, two great films that have a connection. Anne is by Vijay Ranga. He's from New Hampshire. It's a musical take on the love story inspired by the Anne Frank's diary. And Tevia's Daughters by Vladimir Lert. He's from Ukraine, and his film is a retelling of Shalom Alechem's very famous character of Tevye the dairyman. Most people know that story as Fiddler on the Roof. This one was set in Ukraine with actors from the region in its original language, in Russian and Ukrainian. And this one is being co-sponsored by the Rutgers University Department of German, Russian, and Eastern European Languages and Literatures. That's on February 16th. I mentioned the two free screenings on the 21st and 28th. And then on the 22nd and 23rd, we do the United States Super 8 Film and Digital Video Festival, which is in its, oh gosh, I can't remember, 32nd year. It's a smaller festival within the larger one. We are promoting Super 8 films, the old amateur format, and people are still making films, artistic films on that format, and we'll be premiering those movies on the 22nd and 23rd of February. If you need further information about our program and our festival, you can do that at our website, which is njfilmfest.com, and look for our filmmaker interviews in the coming weeks. Have a great day.
Hi, my name is Aaron Pickett. I'm the head of the Youth Services Department here at the East Brunswick Public Library. And we just celebrated our 6th annual Happy New Year here at the library. So it's a tradition we do every year. We started with the East Brunswick Moms Club. We come in, we have a variety of activities and things for the kids to do. Today we made Happy New Year buttons, noisemakers like this. We even used the green screen in our makerspace to take family pictures in from Times Square. So, and of course it all ends with a countdown to noon where we all toast for a very happy 2020. So it's a great place and way for the community to come together at the end of a great year of library programming and to celebrate the new year together. So we had a great time today and we look forward to doing it again next year. Happy 2020, everybody, from the library.
This is Barbara Reiss reporting for This Week in East Brunswick. Come join us as we visit Disability Allies and see all the exciting events here at the Center. thank you for hosting us here today at the Disability Allies Inclusion Center. Tell us, for those who are not familiar with what you do here, what happens here at the center?
What we do is we provide services upon transitioning from high school or receiving a diploma at 21. Life skills, recreation, cooking, all sorts of great classes that just prepare them to make friends, socialization, gain skills. And it's an extension of the school. So if you're not going to go to college, if you're not going to be working, although we also do job-related stuff as well, where we go out with job coaches for a lot of the kids who can, or I should say young adults, who can go out into the world.
So it's a one-stop shop, really, for a lot of different needs for the kids.
Yes, and one of the things that's really good, and this is our program, which we're now doing Monday through Saturday from 9 to 3, which just started. We just did it on...
Expanded, right?
Yes, yes. This is a brand new, larger area. But we also have what we call direct support professionals. So those are mentors who go out into the community to get skills like shopping, laundry. It could be fun stuff like bowling, and it's your peer. And it's an example of typical and non-typical coming together, which is really our mission.
So that they have a lot of opportunity for socialization, learning new skills, all in a fun atmosphere.
Yes, and that's what we're all about, bringing them to feeling good about themselves, self-confidence, self-esteem.
Tell us how this all started. This was your idea that started from a need that you saw needed to be filled.
Throughout my entire life, I've dealt with several challenges, with having Tourette's, obsessive compulsive disorder, ADHD, and I've really never had any friends, when I was younger. I kind of let my disability get to the best of me. I would exaggerate my Tourette's and think that was causing me to make friends, and that people were laughing at, and they were really laughing at me. They weren't laughing with me, and I never really understood how to handle, different social situations and understand how to interact appropriately and how to have friends when I was younger. And, I went to an internship program called the American Association for People with Disabilities. And I went there, and first time in my life, I moved away from home and lived there for a month. And I lived with different people with autism, Asperger's, people who were blind, people who didn't have the use of their arms and their legs. And, I finally, for the first time in my life, I made some amazing connections, people that understood me, they understood who I really was, and just developed a really strong relationship with them. And what that did was that caused me to say, you know what, if I can make friends, if I can build relationships with people, why can't other people do so? And I realized that there is really no mechanism out there for people that, are, graduating from high school, moving into the real world, for them to learn how to socialize with one another, how to interact, how to make friends. And that's really the purpose of this program, is a facility, a center for people to build relationships with each other, do things that they love, do things that they enjoy, and develop true friendships, real friendships. That's what this is all about.
That's an impressive operation here. You have cooking, you have computers. What are some of the activities that they can participate in?
What we do is, this is really a school for the individuals with special needs. We have a lot of variety of different programs. We have a theater program, we have fine arts, we have creative writing, we have music, we have theater, which is a wonderful program. They put on plays, they do skits, and it's all about the social interaction with one another, and all of the things that we do, all the activities that we do, everybody works together in a group setting, and we teach them how to work together in a team and how to interact with one another. Even with the technology, when we learn about computers and, creating everything's project-based. So we might have a group where they work together to create a flyer for a specific event that we came up with. Or we did an activity where they built this Ferris wheel with Kinects, and they read the instruction manuals, and they all worked together, and they put the different pieces together. Another thing we did, which was fun, is we had an activity where we used toothpicks and jelly beans, and they all worked together to build structures, and they learned about aerodynamics, and but it was all in a team. They all consolidated together and worked together. We did, even with our music is wonderful, where they all sing together, and each person plays a different instrument. We have one individual who is blind and autistic, and he plays the most beautiful piano. And he played the piano. We had other people clapping. We had somebody dancing.
Quite inspirational.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's a great.
And collaboration seems to be the theme.
Collaboration is key. I mean, that's really what we're all about. It's just the working together and learning how to interact with one another through projects. And the whole idea is if they can work together in a team setting, they'll also be able to work together out in the real world, together when they have a job, or work together when they're within a group of friends.
So, Chef Brandon, tell us a little bit about some of the wonderful dishes that the students make here.
So they make a lot of different dishes. So everything that they do it themselves. We give them a recipe, and like the one we did the other day was soup. So each week we have a different topic, and then we have 3 recipes. And what's more unique about my class is that they do more of the learning aspect as well. So instead of them just cooking, they're getting a little bit of everything. So like for soup, as you can see, like I did a pot of soup. So they drew a pot of soup, and they got to add what ingredients they want inside the soup, and then they will write out what is inside of it and how to make it, and then they put their own ingredient list, and they do their own directions and stuff like that. So then they learn, and then we'll after they learn something, then the following day we'll cook it. So we did like chicken noodle soup, and they got to cut up their own chicken and their own vegetables, and we created the stock from scratch out of bones. And it's good for the season that we're getting. It's already starting to get cold, and it really works out for them, and they love the class. It's really, really good, and we've done all sorts of stuff. Like my degree is international cuisines, so we do a little bit of everything. So everyone gets a trial, and on top of that, we do with people's allergies. So if you do have an allergy, we'll work with you. If you have a special diet, I'll work with you as well. So you get a little bit of everything.
So they're learning kitchen skills and life skills all in one.
Yes, they're learning kitchen skills, life skills. So another thing that we're doing in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be doing like getting the flyers and stuff from the supermarkets, and then they're gonna have fake money, and then they're gonna go food shopping. So they're gonna find what they want, make a recipe, find what they want, and cut out the stuff that they need for their recipe, and pay for the stuff like that. And then that gets them the whole budgeting on how they can do it at home as well.
Well, these are important skills to have for all facets of your life.
Yes, it really is. And then they learn how to use every machinery, like these awesome ovens. They learn how to use all of the equipment. They learn how to hold a knife, how to cut with a knife. We do like using gloves, and we teach them all the safety things as well, and like what to do in the kitchen, what not to do in the kitchen. Let's not walk away from the stove if it's on, all those ideas as well.
Wow. So safety as well. Well, thank you so much for showing us around today, and we wish you lots of luck with the program.
You're very welcome. Truly appreciate it.
So what does it take to be a life skills instructor? What are some of the skills you're teaching the students?
So Life Skills actually has 2 classes. I teach a Life Skills 1 class, which is social emotional learning, and a Life Skills 2, which is financial management with money, budgeting, going through circulars, seeing how much things cost. We work a lot with coins, change, money, building up. Last week we just taught how to do checks, how to write them out. They were writing them to each other, making some word problems, really awesome stuff there. And in Life Skills 1, we do a lot of conversation starters. We do a lot of when to interrupt, when to have conversations, where and when, and a lot of skills like self-control, respect, a lot with the emotional part. We have a lot of times when talking with one another. In the following weeks, I always try to do a quick review, a refresher. So this past 2 weeks, we did a couple of iMessages where they express how they feel and express their emotions. And then we do a little bit of a fun charade, and it gets them going and able to process and think more.
So these are skills they can use throughout their life. Do you see a big improvement from the beginning of the course to the end of the course?
Oh, yes, for sure. I do. A lot of times they'll think about things and they'll say, oh, this is what I learned 2 weeks ago, and I can express myself this way, or I will reevaluate the situation, which is what I'm always trying to get them to do.
Why do you like coming to the program?
Because I like arts.
I see. What are you painting there?
I'm painting on canvas.
And a nice job. You're using a lot of different colors.
I'm very happy again.
I'm glad. And do you like to come here often?
Yeah.
What's your favorite activity besides art?
Science. Computer technology.
And we have been talking about that you try to help those who are finishing, they're graduating high school and trying to figure out what the next step is.
Right. So transition is very hard for families. It's not just a student thing. So just like typical families are getting ready for college, we have to get ready for adult life, whatever it is, whether it's our kids going to college or going out and getting services. And I think the most important thing is information.
So the more you know, the more information you have, the better you can help your relative or your child in this process.
Right. So, that actually transition actually starts at 14. But the time to do all this stuff and research is 18. So that by the time, because our kids could stay till they're 21. They could get services at 21, but it's never too early to have that in place so that you don't feel that pressure at the end. So we want to collaborate with school systems, families, and just give them lots and lots of information, which is what I'm all about. And it's all about families and helping families because it's very emotional. When you're in school, you don't realize you're in a little community and your kids are so taken care of that you don't even know how to appreciate it at the time. So we want to help schools and we want to help families make that transition a little bit easier. Speaking about support, we're starting a parent support group, or I should say a family support group. It's going to be the last Tuesday of the month. We're going to alternate just with support where we could just share our feelings, share information that we could use with each other, and I'm going to be bringing in attorneys to help with guardianship, transition, DDD. I'm going to try to get people from there to come in and let them know what steps to take at what point, just loaded with information, which is what we're all about.
This is so impressive. Thank you for all the time and effort that you've put into making to this wonderful place. It's just a family feeling here.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming in. And we still have a lot of openings for our day program. We're about halfway filled. And anybody who's interested in our program, we welcome you. We really do. One of the things I also wanted to thank is the fact that I want to thank all the volunteers and particularly all the Rutgers students who come here and spend their time interacting with the individuals with special needs. And that's what really makes our place such a community. It's connecting the individuals with and without special needs, and everybody kind of coming together and, really having a good time and learning. One of the things that we like our volunteers to do is to actually participate in the activities and to work within the groups that the individuals with special needs are in. And that what that does is that really helps facilitate that communication and interaction.
Everything here, everyone seems like they're having a wonderful time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
With